Well, hello, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, Master Charles.
Hi. Oh, now I need to mute your stream again. There we go.
Oh,
Hi.
yeah, yeah,
Hi,
yeah.
everybody.
You probably don't need me twice in your ear. Uh, good morning. I rolled Charlie out of bed so that he could join us this morning for a chat. And thank you, Trex. This is one of the dumbest things I've ever made. But I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're having a fantastic week. And today we're going to learn about Master Charles and his stream and everything. So first of all, Master Charles, when you get up in the morning, are you a person that caffeinates?
Yes and no. So I don't function in the morning unless I have caffeine, but it's not like the first thing I do in the morning. The first thing I do is like I just sit in bed half asleep and scroll through social media for like 2 hours until I'm like, okay, now I'm awake enough to go get more awake by drinking caffeine.
Right. That's good. So you're not a morning person. You have a
Oh,
process.
absolutely not. No, no, no. If I could be nocturnal, I would be. And I've always kind of had this idea that like society would be better if we worked on a 24-hour clock. This could be my soapbox for a minute here.
Do
Just
it. Yeah, I'd love a
like
soapbox first thing in the morning.
let's let's get rid of this 9 to 5 job shit. Let's just go 24-hour schedule. Let night people be night people. Keeps all stores open 24 hours a day. We make more jobs by having, a night shift everywhere. And then, society would be just big brain, galaxy brain.
So if I need, you know, if I need to go get my car serviced at 3 a.m.,
Exactly. Yeah.
you can go get it. The bank's open at 4:30 a.m.
You want to know why that's not a thing? Is because Big Pizza
Robberies.
has a monopoly on 3 a.m. deliveries. So they want to keep that monopoly. They don't want to share their business with all the other businesses at 3 a.m.
Fucking big pizza man. They're out to get you.
Yeah.
My God. We'll start off easy.
hmm
Before I get to questions about like long division and stuff like that. So, when did you start streaming? What got you into streaming in the first place? And also, give us like if you were to pitch your channel, is it an elevator pitch? Is it an escalator pitch? Like,
I can give you the pitch that I give everybody whenever I get a raid, which is, "Hi, I'm MC. I'm Master Charles. Call me MC. I play a variety of games, a lot of indie games. Today we're playing such and such a game. And if you want to stick around and follow, here's what you can expect." And then boom, I hit the intro button and it rolls our little 30-second
you
stinger
have an
of
intro
videos.
button that does your elevator pitch for you, which is
hmm
hype as hell.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's like one of my favorite things that I have on the stream is my theme song that I had commissioned by the composer of The Messenger.
Oh
Um,
shit. That's a pedigree.
I know, right? Like,
Yeah, that's
I
real.
feel like I got in there good. I was like, oh, he's about to blow up because he's been in one game so far. Let me get in
Uh-huh.
there while before he just has like exponential royalty fees.
I had
So
no idea that your theme song was done by the Messenger composer.
yeah, he actually
That's
has a
super cool.
Twitch stream where he like makes chiptune music live on stream, and it's pretty great. He just started that last year.
I fucking love chiptune. Good morning, Canny. Um,
Two handsome friendos. Ooh,
yeah, I know.
sorry.
Compliments out the gate. Did you shower for this presentation today?
I did. I did. That's why my hair's still wet. But
I was like, I want to know the amount of effort you put into showing up today, so I know what kind of effort to put into you this morning. So, I'm joking. Yeah. So, okay. So, if you would you consider yourself like an indie streamer primarily? I know that you do a variety of things, but
yeah,
is
I,
is
I
the
don't I don't stick to strictly indie games. Like I tried to do only indie stuff in 2019, and it was dead, dead in the water, man. It was like not a lot of people coming out and looking for these games because they're like no name games or whatever. But yes, I would say maybe 5% of the stuff that I stream is actual like AAA games.
okay? What's and then in that AAA game like section or genre, it's not a genre, but in that sort of subset, how much of that percentage is stealth games?
Like probably 70% of the 5% or whatever I said is probably
I
stealth
feel
games. Yeah.
I feel like if I were going to describe your stream, I would say like Indian Stealth is like the, the not the exclusivity, but the bread and butter is like an Indie Stealth kind of hand in hand bit.
I would love to do more VR stuff, but it's such a pain in the butt to like stream VR. There's just so much like technology that just isn't there for sharing because they've put all their focus into making the hardware work for playing the game.
Right.
There's not like easy ways to share the game.
I will tell you that as now a PC game streamer myself, because as you know, yesterday and Monday this week, I started streaming the 1997 classic Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight, and it runs okay. I will tell you that being a PC gamer streamer is a little bit of a pain in the ass.
Well, you're also playing a game from 1997.
But it's yeah. So there's that, but it's also not just that. It's like when I'm capturing like a console, right? As a PC gamer myself, so PC gamer, I left it. Is that like if I'm on console and I'm just capturing it, right? If I need to do something on the PC, like go to chat or whatever, I just type onto the keyboard. But if I'm playing the game, I have to like alt tab out and then figure out where my mouse is on the two screens, and it's like just a different. Am I doing it wrong? Am I fucking up somewhere?
So up until like last week, I had a 2 PC setup for my stream, so that like all of my stream stuff was run off one. If I needed to type something, I'd come over here and type on the keyboard.
Okay.
That was still such a pain in the butt because I'd go over and I'd start typing. And I'm like, oh, why isn't I go? Oh, I have to go select the text box, and then I'm like, it was crowded. It was a pain in the butt. I don't recommend it to anybody.
Is there a way like on a single PC to have like a mouse and keyboard for a game, and then on the same PC a second mouse and keyboard? Like for outside, like for gaming, for non-gaming specifically? Is there a way to do that?
I think so. I don't know how to do it, but I'm sure there is a way to do that.
Okay, so when did you start streaming, and what got you into streaming in the first place?
All right, so I started in October 2017, I think, either 2017 or 2018. And I got into it because I was watching a YouTuber. I used to be big into YouTube. I was doing that for like a decade before I came to Twitch, and
consuming or creating?
Both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I like to tell people that I was trying to be Epic Mealtime before Epic Mealtime was Epic Mealtime.
Oh, I seem to remember some Charlie cooking. Rage videos.
The thing is, they were like super low budget because I was like, I'm still a student in school. I have like a minimum wage job, so I can't like afford a lot of food to cook for this YouTube channel that's not making any money.
I thought you were gonna say afford the camera, but you mean like the food.
Yeah, whereas the Epic Mealtime guys were like, we bought $300 worth of bacon. I'm like, $300? What?
Wish I had $300 of YouTube money for bacon.
Like, I love their channel, but I was still salty about the fact that, like, we both started about the same time. They blew up, and I didn't, and, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. I'm over.
It's like, they used to open for me, and now they're headlining, and I'm still opening.
Yeah, but I used to watch a lot of, like, YouTube Let's Plays back in the day. Like, Game Grumps was probably the last series that I got into, which I feel like most people would know for Let's Plays.
Yeah, that's probably the only Let's Plays I've ever watched.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really watch them anymore. I don't think they're that funny. But there was a guy that I watched. A lot of times it would be like, oh, I'm getting nostalgic over this game. Let me look up like a Let's Play of somebody playing through this game, because I was a terrible gamer when I was a kid. I like never beat any games. So I would live vicariously through these Let's Players who are like, yeah, I'm playing your old favorite game from childhood, and let me show you what a good gamer would do if they were playing it. And one of those games was Jet Force Gemini for N64, which I'd love to come back and try sometime, but I'm sure I'm still going to be trash at it.
Jet Force Gemini is one of the ones that I want to do co-op after the pandemic's over, because it's on Rare Replay, and JB, our friend JB, loves that game, but I've never played it.
It's interesting. It's like very primitive third-person shooter. Like, imagine if GoldenEye was like sci-fi and also had like a branching storyline that changed depending on what character you were playing.
Oh, whoa. That's super
Yeah.
awesome. General Torby. What's up, Torby? Good morning, Dodd.
I, I remember like one of the things that I really liked about that game was you could play as a dog with jetpack boots.
Okay,
Or
that's
jet
really
boots, I
cool.
guess. Yeah. I was
That's
like, oh, that's so cool.
I do like that.
Uh,
That's awesome.
I don't think I ever unlocked that character though, because I was so bad at the game. So anyway, so I was watching this guy play that game. He played a bunch of other games. I ended up following because I thought he was funny. And then at some point he quit YouTube to start doing Twitch full time. And then like I kind of stopped hearing about him for a couple of years. And then he just randomly uploaded a VOD of his stream one time. I was like, oh hey, let me check this VOD out. And it looked like the most fun thing in the world to be like playing a game, chatting with people. It was constant hype and like people like joking in the chat every time he missed a jump. He was playing like Super Mario 64 or something like that. And I was like, man, I should, you know what, I'm gonna give that a try. This was at a time where I think I was working from home at the time, and I was like, you know what, I've always thought about doing let's plays because I tend to talk to myself a lot just when I'm playing a game normally. So I was like, why not just throw up a microphone and a webcam and we'll see how it
Do you do that
goes.
when you're not gaming? Like, is that a Charlieism? Like, is that a way you live?
Yeah, yeah. I don't have a very good inner monologue, so I have an outer monologue.
I I'm the exact same way, and that's part of the reason why I feel like it streaming comes kind of second nature, is that even before I was ever streaming, I would kind of like narrate what I was doing or sing what I was doing
Hmm.
throughout the house. Just you know,
So you also do the singing what you're doing thing. Okay, perfect.
yeah, but it's like and it's not even like I'm not making parody songs or anything. I'm just like putting cinnamon raisin toast in the toaster, and like just
Usually when I start singing about what I'm doing, it starts with "What the fuck are you doing?" Then it like it's my way of like you walk into a room, you forgot what you're doing there. It's my way of like reminding myself, like, oh yeah, you came to go get some chips or something. I don't
that's awesome. That's really awesome. So, so you've been streaming for I guess like coming up on 4 years now.
know. Oh God, yeah, yeah, yeah.
What's
I
been
had
the
a I had like a 5 year plan for streaming, but I don't think we're gonna hit it at this rate. But that's okay.
yeah? Granted, that was what I was referring to. Was even before
Mhm.
streaming. That was yeah.
Yeah, no, because I kind of judged my success, and I feel like this is not something that you should do, and I know better now because I had like I think in like end of 2018 I was getting pretty burned out. It was right around when we started playing Hollow Knight. I had like some serious burnout. I was like, I need to just quit for a bit.
Yeah, but Hollow
Um,
Knight will do that to you.
hmm
Like, like for sure.
hmm But here's the thing: I came back to Hollow Knight and I trumped on it, and the thing that I didn't realize is that I was playing it at 30 frames a second because I had a shitty monitor. When I upgraded my PC and my monitor, and I could play it in 140 frames per second, I was like, oh, these enemies do have tells, so you can actually see what attack they're going to throw before they throw it.
Oh
I couldn't see
man.
that before. It was like I was taking off the ankle weights, and then all of a sudden I could beat the game.
So like I am a console gamer
Thanks, Rich.
primarily, so things like frame rate, like I can see the difference between like 30 and 60. I
Hmm.
don't think it would make a difference in terms of my gameplay, but I really don't think I'd be able to tell the difference between 60 and 140.
I used to be the same way. That's why I kind of like lived with such a crappy monitor for the longest time. Just because I was like, yeah, it's fine. It's what I've always known. You know, this is what I'm gonna use because this is what I'm used to.
Right.
But the second I upgraded, I was like, oh, I was playing like a lot of For Honor back then too, which is all about like timing your parries to throw your opponent off balance and whatnot. I'm like, this is so much easier now. This is crazy. When you have like an extra half second to react to something, it's a world of difference.
That's really funny. I
Yeah.
imagine it, I've thought about it in a way like if someone throws up something like 4K, like a 4K movie or something, I I may or may not be able to tell you immediately if this is in 4K or not, but if it going back like from it once you've been there for a while, going back sucks. You may not notice the step forward, but you notice the step backward kind of thing. But
I think when it comes to resolutions and stuff, a lot of that is determined by your screen size too. So if you like don't have a huge screen, 4K is not going to be a huge deal.
It doesn't matter so much, yeah.
Yeah.
What has been over the course of your streaming career? What has been the like the hardest part of streaming for you? Whether it's a technical thing or an emotional thing or whatever it is. Like what's the biggest challenge streaming on the MasterCharlz channel?
Oh boy, yeah. I think one of the things that it took me a while to get used to was like not comparing myself to other people.
Okay,
that was a big thing that kind of motivated me early on. Was like I want to be the very best, like no one ever was.
Right. Mixon, thank you for the raid, by the way, Mixon. We appreciate it. Morning, Jedi and Raven, rage.
So I'd be like that guy who inspired me to start streaming. I would like watch his stream and be like, oh man, this is where I want to be. I want to do exactly what he's doing without realizing that he's probably been doing that for like 6-7 years since the start of Twitch to like, get to that point. Yeah, and like I took some time off around the time that I took my little hiatus from Hollow Knight to like kind of center myself and like do some self introspection and figure out like, okay, I have to understand that I don't have a personality that everybody vibes with, and that's okay. Like there's
I want to push back on that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how someone couldn't.
Yeah, come on, you fucks. What's wrong with you?
Go follow him, you pieces of shit. Go do it.
But even so, like I realize that like I have to put myself in their shoes. You know, like if I'm look at my following list, there's a ton of streamers that I absolutely adore, and I think they're hilarious and they're fantastic. But for whatever reason, I'm never compelled to be like, oh, I need to watch their stream every single time they're live. You know, like sometimes there's somebody who's like, okay, I'll watch them if they're live, but I'm not gonna be there 100% of the time. And it just took me a while to figure out that like I'm not the center of attention here. I'm not like, well, I kind of am, but I'm not like the main character of my own story kind of thing. Just people will come in, they'll hang out if they want to hang out, and it's my duty to like be there and be entertaining for them. But it's not like nobody owes me anything, you know. And that was like a really hard mindset to break for my first couple years of streaming.
So, like, similarly, it's sort of like pushing back against a sense of entitlement, and I think I've talked about this on stream before. For me, where after I graduated from college, because I had been told my whole life, like, oh, you go to school, you go to college, you get your degree, and then you're set. Like, once you get your degree, you get whatever job you want. Like, they're just that's your ticket. You go present your ticket for job, and you get job. And so after I graduated, I realized like, people don't owe me shit. I have to keep working for shit after I put in all the work. And like that was like a big thing that I had to grapple with as well. Good morning, JB.
Yeah, lurkers are great.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off there.
No, go for
it. When I was early on, before I had a lot of regulars that would hang out and chat with me all the time, it was very much a like. I don't watch my viewer numbers, so I never know how many people are actually lurking or watching me. So if I had a dead chat, I'd be like, am I just not entertaining enough? I was like having a crisis. I'm like, because I would watch my VODs after every stream just to like kind of rate my performance. And be
That's
like,
good.
Yeah.
Watch me do. That's good.
I feel like so many people don't do that, but it's so critical to like growing as a streamer.
Oh my god, yeah, no,
fixing things that are wrong.
If you're a content creator, whether it's on TikTok or YouTube, if you're making a podcast or streaming, you don't have to watch like the whole like if you did an 8-hour stream, you don't have to watch the whole 8 hours. But choose an hour or choose a block, and for the love of God, go back and watch, because you'll notice over time, little things like, I want to tweak that. That's a little different. Maybe I should get an audio filter or a compressor, something like that.
Twitch sent out these emails for New Year's. That was like,
Oh,
here's
these
your
fucking emails.
yearly roundup. Here's the stats for everything that happened on your channel this year. It was like your #1 most watched channel was yourself. I'm like, oh great, thanks.
They sent me the same shit. What were your other two? Do you remember?
My other two streamers that I had watched the most was Late Night Retro was #2, and #3 was Dan Giesling.
Yep. You shuffled me toward Dan Giesling as well. Both of those people I follow.
He's very much. I would say he's very similar to your stream, where he's like a very podcast hosty type of personality, where you're constantly like the greatest showman austerity, just like, oh yes,
this is the greatest show.
Yeah, that kind of thing. It's just he's always on like while I'm working, so I always like if nobody else is on, I can just pop in because he's a full-time streamer or whatever, so he's always on during the day.
So I have a question inspired by Mixon here, and I want to ask you, Mixon, as well, about hardware. What was the hardware upgrade that made was there a hardware upgrade or some big upgrade that like made the difference in your stream where you're like, yeah, I'm so glad that I did this or got this?
It's hard to say because I bought a new PC and a new monitor at the same time. I think the monitor was more important.
And that was for your gameplay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a good deal on an AOC Aegon 27-inch G-Sync IPS monitor, and it was expensive, but it like was half the price of like the top name brand thing. So I think I got away good with that.
I'm
trying to get a 3080 though. I don't know. One of these days, scalpers will stop buying it, and I can actually get a new graphics card.
So like Raven basically, Raven One Lead in chat, he basically gave us like all the he built a new PC and he gave us all his old components. Really the only thing we need, like the only thing that I have to get is a graphics card, and like the 1050 Ti that I have in my current PC, I was like, okay, maybe I just get one of those again, and even those now are like I may as well just buy a fucking Xbox Series X. I mean, I'm gonna build the other PC. I'm gonna finish building it, but finding a graphics card is such a pain in the dick right now.
I set aside some money, and I've been saving up for a graphics card, and I'm about to take that money and go buy a new VR headset with it, just because I'm like I can't get these graphics cards. They're never gonna be in stock. I might as well like put it towards something I can buy.
Right. Oh man. Rach has a question. Do you promote your overlays? You do a really good job on them. I will say your stream setup, like there's a lot of variety to your scenes, and I love the fact that like it feels fresh like every time I watch your show. I mean, it's not like it's always different, but do you know what I mean? Like you have different camera setups for different things, and I think that's really cool.
Currently no. I have a full-time job, so I don't really go out of my way to like try to get more business for myself. If I for whatever reason found myself unemployed again, I would probably start like promoting the crap out of like, hey, I'm doing freelance graphic design, come buy some overlays or whatever. Right. But no, for the most part, if somebody, all of my business has been word of mouth. I've had a couple of people get overlays from me because they either have seen my stream and they like what I've been doing, or somebody like you who I see you shouting me out all the time. Thank you very much.
Yeah, people
like I'm not against doing overlays for people. I'm happy to do it, but like I just don't have the time in my day to like constantly be doing
to run it overlays like a business.
Yeah, because like if you think about streaming as a job, I'm basically running 2 full-time jobs basically. I do like 8 hours of work, and then I come home and do 4 hours of streaming every night, you know.
What so I mean, the alerts that we have here and the transitions we have here were made by you, like on this channel. So like, just if you guys, you know, not only check out MC Stream, but if you ask him nice enough, you can give him money for really cool shit that looks really awesome on the stream.
I do have one request, and this goes for anybody who's like a streamer out there. Is like build a brand first before you start buying overlays and stuff. Like figure out how you want to present yourself. Like Steve, you're super easy. You've got your whole gutter theme. You've got
Yeah.
a strong brand color with the green. You've got like the manhole cover. Like those are two great elements that you can work with. But I've had so many people come to me and they're like, I don't know what I want, and then like
I
they
want
throw a
something
bunch of
cool.
stuff at me. Yeah, like I had some guy come to me who was doing like retro streaming and was like, yeah, I want to do this like 80s vaporwave
I knew
aesthetic.
you were gonna say vaporwave. I fucking knew you were gonna say like pink and purple vaporwave, which is beautiful and it's awesome. It's just
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, we can do that, but it's so overdone, and also it doesn't
yeah.
scream retro gaming. It screams like 80s aesthetic, but
Right.
not like retro gaming, you know?
Right.
So I
If you
knew
went
like,
like early '90s like Super NES style, you know, or even like
yeah, like
grays and reds, like an old NES, like late '80s or early '90s, like gray and red. Here, let's build a quick brand. If you're a retro gamer, you can take those simple colors, red, gray, and black, and you can make those things your and use that slanted Super NES style font, and there's the base that you can work with right there that doesn't look like everything else. So
yeah,
there, I'll throw that out there for you.
I think a couple of people are asking, but yeah, if you guys want me to do some overlays, just hit me up in Discord. Just
But
send me a DM.
and if you guys want to talk about beforehand, you want to hit up MasterCharlz for something, and you want to create some sort of brand. We can talk about that too. Like if you have,
Oh yeah,
so like even and if you don't know exactly what your brand is, at the very least start with like two colors. Like pick like two colors that you're going to use like all the time, and that's it. That'll at least get you a foot to start off on.
that's basically the only thing that I have for my brand is just I have a very significant pink color.
And
People are like, "Oh, it looks so good." I'm like, "It's just a color." And then I make squares out of the color, but
no, but it works
like if
because
it works, it works.
Nerdez and I went to do this drive-through Christmas light thing during the holiday season. Where you like drive through a farm and there's all sorts of trees and stand-up Christmas lights and shit. And there was one tree that was wrapped entirely in like this neon pink like light, and I was like, "Oh, it's a Charlie tree," and it literally was just like pink neon. And now I associate that with you, so so it'd work.
Yeah, I kind of chose that. That's like the second iteration of my brand. My first iteration was like I wanted to have like I didn't know what I wanted my brand to be when I first started on Twitch, and I was like, you know what I'm gonna do is like I want to be like a chill game lounge where people come, they hang out, and they vibe,
And
and
like,
I'll do
and
like a
have like a
coffee house
cigarette
aesthetic.
or something.
Yeah, I was like, I want to do like a late night coffee house aesthetic with like brick walls, neon signs, and stuff. Very much like the lo-fi beats to study chill to
Yeah,
kind of thing.
sort of like a lo-fi arcade speakeasy.
Yeah, and then I was like, you know what? As I started streaming, I started like you probably shouldn't do what I did, where I was a YouTube guy and then I jumped straight into streaming before I started watching Twitch. Like I've had a Twitch account
Oh,
since
I
like
100% did that too. I didn't
2010
watch
or
Twitch
something like
streams
that.
until like 6 months after I had a channel.
And like you shouldn't do that because you should figure out like what the community is like. You should really like get inspiration from other streamers before you do that. But like after I built the brand, I started streaming. I started watching other streams. I'm like 3 out of 10 streams have brick walls and neon lights as their like brand. So I'm like, I gotta get away from this. And then I don't know. I like the pink color. And I was like, you know what? Let's lean into that, because if I were on Twitch and I'm scrolling through a list of thumbnails that all look the same,
Yeah.
I think this bright neon pink color would like draw my eye, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
maybe I'll just give it a split second longer to like look at it.
It pops in the directory, and I think that Torby has a good point too. I like the contrast of like, would you consider yourself a dude bro? I'll ask you that way.
Do I come off as a dude, bro?
Would you?
I guess I do say
Would
dude
you
a lot.
consider?
I don't know. I'm not a Saturdays are for the boys kind of dude, bro. Though you know, like,
Uh-huh.
fuck, I do crack White Claws a lot.
I was
Kind of a
literally about
dude,
to ask you
bro.
about White Claws. That was going to be my
I'm
next
kind of a
question.
dude, bro.
I'm literally
Fuck.
marking off White Claws on this mat right now. Well, one of the questions later on was what sponsorship do you want? And don't say Axe body spray was
Taco Bell. I do have a bot command where anytime somebody says the word taco in my chat, it'll say hashtag sponsor me Taco Bell like immediately.
where, where did the spicy boy come from? Because that is also a thing related to your channel.
Story. This started in, I want to say it was in Arcane August of 2018. I think is when I was doing Arcane August. Somebody had given me some like
can't hear you, but I'm Lerkin. While Werkin.
Everybody was like, "Oh, you got to eat that on stream. We got to do like a mukbang stream." I was like, "Okay." So then I decided, I was like, today's the day. I've got nothing else to do. I pulled out the spicy ramen. I fired up my stream. The only webcam centric scene that I had set up on my OBS is one that I was using for drawing logos, which was just like my webcam was sitting on top of my monitor pointing straight down at the desk,
right?
So that I could, like, you could see me drawing. But when I flipped the webcam up to like look at me, I was upside down. I was like, you know what, this is fine. I'm too lazy to change it. So we just did this like mukbang stream while I was upside down, and while I was doing that, we got like 30 people to come into our just chatting scene to be like, hey, you know your webcam's upside down? I was like, no, it's not. You're upside down. What are you talking about?
If you reorient yourself, I'm not upside down. It's all a matter of perspective.
The fact that was so. It was such a huge draw to the channel that people would come in to tell me that I was upside down, that I was like, you know, I'm just gonna make this a permanent thing. That like my just chatting scene's gonna be upside down from now on. That's just how it is. Yeah, for the Aussies. I don't know. It was interesting, and then like that just became. I think I named that scene in my OBS like the Spicy Boy, because I named the stream that I was streaming that day was like Spicy Boy Stream or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I ended up drawing a logo for it because I was like, I kind of like that name. I think if I was ever to rebrand for MasterCharlz, which I feel like I'm likely to do, because I really don't like that my name has the word master in it. It has weird connotations that I don't want to give off to people. I would probably like rebrand as either Spicy Boy or like MCCharlz or something like that. But
I like both of those. I do like both of those. That's good. We'll also refer to you sometimes as Maestro Carlos.
PlayStation, PSN won't actually let me name myself MasterCharlz because it has the word master in it. Which is really weird. Like, that's a banned word, huh? Okay.
All right.
Maybe because people are naming themselves Master Chief or something like that, and they're like, "Oh, we can't have that."
Or so I mean, I a handful of reasons I can't I wonder which one is their reasoning. I was going to ask you something that actually I have a list of questions, but there was something that you would say. Oh yeah, so I'll have a series of things, and I feel like you do like everything. Like I feel like in your life, in your creative endeavors, I could list like anything, and so I sort of want to get a sense of like what you can do. Okay, so if I'm gonna say something, and some of these are gonna be obvious, but we're just gonna start, and if you can do them, have done them, or would do them, say yes. And if it's just out of your wheelhouse, then say no.
Okay.
It's a streamer.
Streamer, yes.
Yes. Web
I wasn't
designer.
sure we were starting yet.
Yeah,
Web
yeah.
designer, yes.
Okay. Illustrator.
Yes.
Video editor.
Yes.
Musician.
No.
Stand-up comic.
I'm gonna say no.
Really?
Mm-hmm. A lot of my humor is like observation based, and I feel
that's what
like
stand-up comedy is.
Yeah, but it hasn't been since like Dane Cook stopped doing stand-up, you know? Like he was really the peak of observational humor, and I don't know. I watch a lot of stand-up comedy. I love like James A. Caster, Mitch Hedberg.
Mitch Hedberg was great. Yeah.
Like just people that do really good prepared jokes, and I don't have the right brain for that. I can whip out a pun real easy, but like that's not gonna do anything for you.
Like I'm just saying, if you had like a show, I'd go like watch your show. If you were doing stand up somewhere, I'd make it a point to go see that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, yeah, I think like part of it would be like, as cool as I seem on camera, like, if I were standing up and trying to like do something that's very on the edge of what I'm comfortable with, I'm gonna have like a panic attack.
I see.
Like my anxiety would just kill me. I'm like, oh, I can't do that.
How do you prep for stream? Do you do anything to prep for stream? Do you have either like a ritual or something that you do, or a headspace to get in?
My like pre-stream ritual is making, like, I'll listen to music. I will be working on a Photoshop thumbnail for the day, and probably like doing some like TikToking. I'll be scrolling through TikTok just to like kind of get my my serotonin levels up and just, you know, oh yeah,
Get into like a good like headspace.
yeah, a good like, okay, I'm ready to laugh. I'm ready to have fun kind of thing. Yeah.
I like that. Mixon, thanks so much for the subscription. I appreciate it.
What I don't do enough time doing is like actually making sure that my stuff works properly. This was a much bigger issue when I had two PCs, and one of the reasons I stopped is because the way it would work is I'd send my one PC through a capture card to the other, but that means that I only get audio to the second PC, or I get audio to this PC. So I had to like download voice meter. I had to split audio tracks so it sends it both ways. Half the time that wouldn't work.
And
right?
you have to check that every time.
Mm-hmm. I was like, this is so frustrating. I don't want to do this. I hate voice meters so much.
Do you do a comb through of your beard?
Not enough. I should do it more. I should do it more. Yeah.
Charlie has beard mites. Okay, so.
No. Listen, I did the trim up, the brushing, like 2 days ago. It's fine.
That's fine. I don't know anything about beards, so I'm just gonna have to trust you on this one, buddy.
I should do it every day, but I don't.
Is your TikTok like as weird as like mine and Cretaceous Beards is? So there are a few people that I like send TikToks to. You're one of them. But
I will say I'm probably very much on the same feed as Cretaceous Beard, because every time he sends me one, I'm like, I saw this 2 days ago.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Me, you, and CB's For You page is probably eerily similar.
I'm curious how much of it is affected by the fact that we keep sending each other stuff. So like...
Right. Yeah.
I will say my Instagram feed has been very much ruined by that, because like I would search for a lot of D&D stuff, like fantasy digital art of like paintings of like orcs fighting elves and whatnot, because I just really like fantasy art. Like I just got this let me see, I got this new boy, it's hard to tell what I'm aiming at here, but this new painting on my wall back here.
And we're almost there.
I'm like on a delay, so it's hard to.
No, you're good. It's the focus.
I could use my preview to show you what I'm looking at here. Hold on. How do I like? There we go. There we go. So there's this this painting of this like sugar skull girl holding an M4 with an explosion in the background.
That's cool.
It's the coolest fucking painting I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, that's so dope. So I had to get that printed out and like put on my wall.
That's super awesome. Speaking of D&D, you started dabbling in that on the stream side, didn't you? Or at least in your community.
Yes and no. So I've been talking with my group for like 2 years now. I've been trying to talk them into doing like a D&D stream. But we're not all on the same page for that yet. Like me and the DM are like, oh yeah, that'd be so cool, because I've talked to him and I'm like, hey, listen, if we started a D&D stream, we could put up donations and have people pay for our minis.
Yes.
And he's like, yes, absolutely. I could make so much terrain. I'm like, yeah, you could. But like, we have a couple people that are very like camera shy, and they don't want to be like on stream while they're doing silly voices and whatnot. I'm like, okay, whatever. So that's probably never gonna happen. But yeah, I wrote a one shot to play with that group, because my DM like needs a break every once in a while so he can prep more content, and we don't want to like skip a week while he's prepping. So we're like, all right, somebody else jump in.
So you are currently in a campaign that is off stream, just in your regular life.
Yeah, every Friday night, which is why I don't stream Fridays. Otherwise, I probably would.
How often do you stream a week?
3 times minimum, up to like 5 if I have enough free time and willpower to do it.
Okay. So like 15 hours a week?
Yeah.
I feel like there was a time. First of all, let me welcome Builder. Good to see you again, and Ouija. Good to see you, buddy. I feel like there was a time where, so a couple of years ago we did. It's the reason Charlie and I met, by the way, everybody, and a lot of you here in chat met through the GNG, the Good Noodle Gang Twitch community, that started like in 2017 or 2018, so somewhere around there, and. There was a time, Charlie, where I feel like you were always streaming. Like it felt like you were streaming 40 hours a week. I don't know if you actually were, but I don't remember if you may have won it, but we had an award called the Always On Award when we did the G&G award show, and you may have won that one.
Yes, I did.
Okay, yeah. That's what I thought. It was like Charlie was like the MASH of Twitch, where it was like I can find Charlie at some point. Like, no matter what. If I'm bored, Charlie's on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like that. It was, that was back when I was in between jobs, so I had a lot of free time. I would spend, like, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., I would be, like, applying for jobs. And then the rest of the day, I'm like, I got nothing else to do, and I don't have money to go spend, so let me just start streaming all day.
Right.
And that was back when I was doing like Ace Attorney and Professor Layton and stuff, which are very chill games that you can just sit and play for hours without like, you're not gonna tilt out, you're not gonna like get bored of it. It just keeps, and they're long games too, so they just keep going.
Right.
I'm gonna start the next Ace Attorney game on Monday, I think. So I'm excited to get back to that series, but I'm also like, now that I'm not streaming for 8 hours every single day, can I actually finish this game? I don't know.
Do you game in your off stream time? Like, do you have games that you stream and games you don't, or do you do all your gaming on stream?
Yeah. No, I play a lot of games off stream. I used to feel really guilty about it until I realized I was like, sometimes I need to just stop talking because if I stream for too long, like I start to get a sore throat from like constantly talking for hours on end. So yeah, every once in a while I need to chill. Tuesday nights, I play co-op games with my friends. So we'll play like Vermintide or GTFO, or lately we've been on like a survival game kick. We just beat Minecraft last Tuesday.
Wow.
I guess.
You beat Minecraft. There's no more crafting to be done.
You can keep playing the game, and I think there's like you can go to the end now, and there's like more stuff to explore which we haven't done yet. But like we went to the Nether, we got the stronghold, we got to the dragon at the end, and we killed the dragon. And I feel like my group is very completionist focused, so they're like, okay, we want to finish this game as fast as possible. I'm over here, I'm like, I'm making a dog farm. Let me go and like, I'm gonna catch some foxes. Oh no, my foxes are eating my chickens. Whereas the rest of my group's like, oh my god, I'm dying to wither skeletons in the Nether. I'm like,
meanwhile, at the Fortress of Charlie,
making a rail cart track to put this building over here connected to this building, just so
you're like, and I'm making sleepy time tea for the ducks. That's great. I'm the opposite of that. I am the okay, what's the next objective? what's the next? So like even when we're playing, and I'm learning to relax about it, but like when we're playing Destiny 2, and Trexis can confirm this. Trexis and her husband, my friend Sam, and I play Destiny 2, and I'm very much like, okay, what's the next story step? And Sam will be like, well, let's do some world events and look around. And I'm like, but it's stuff to do. So I'm that other way.
I just picked up Valheim, which everybody's been hyping about.
I saw a little bit of that yesterday. It looks very good.
It's slow, man. I don't know if I can get into this game. It's just it takes so long to do anything.
Well, like Arc long to do anything?
Never played Arc, so I don't know.
Okay,
but like for example, I like my next objective in that game is to like upgrade my workbench, and then so I can make better armor and then go fight trolls or whatever.
Gotcha.
My issue with that is in order to do that, I need like 30 boar skins, and you can maybe find like 6 boars every day. Like, I'm just like walking around, I'm like, oh, this is so boring.
It's gonna take some time.
Yeah, which I assume would be easier if you had like multiple people all pitching towards the same stuff, or it might be harder. I don't know.
Jedi asked a couple minutes ago, if you had a group of people that wanted to do a D&D stream, would you create a D&D stream if you had the people that wanted to perform that?
Would I do a D&D stream and play? Yes. Would I do a D&D stream and DM? No.
Okay. But you would host it on your channel as a player.
Mm-hmm. Like DMing is like a lot of commitment, and I just wouldn't have time to like put that together and have it be fun.
I get the impression that it's like a part-time job.
It kind of is, yeah. Like for the one shot that I wrote up, I was playing with some of my subs in Discord. I spent 12 hours on one Sunday. I just spent 12 hours like writing it up, making maps for it, making tokens to play it, setting it all up in Roll20, rolling out stats, writing the stat blocks down on Roll20 so I play it. Like, it's a lot of work, and to do that like even every week I only did it because I had a free Sunday that I wasn't doing anything else, so let me put that together. But it's so much work. And it's fun, but I don't think like I would have to cut something else out in order to pull that off.
Right. And as Chanslin mentions bi-weekly, I'm a huge fan of the bi-weekly D&D because it's each block, and it's amazing, and it's fun, and I love it, and it's emotional and life-changing in a way, and therapeutic in a lot of ways too. But like, a session that is 3-4 hours, and then needing a couple of weeks, not just for prep, but even just from a player perspective, like to decompress, think about like my character, think about reactions, and fine-tuning those things and stuff like that. If I feel like every week, I do every week, sure, but I really like the rest, in between. Mm-hmm. I think that's super helpful. Okay, so question number 2 that I have written down. that was all the first question, that first hour. What's your favorite game or series?
Splinter Cell.
Why is that?
I don't know. It took me a while to get into that series too. I played the original when it first came out, and I didn't understand it. I didn't really know like what a stealth game was or like how to play it. My experience with stealth was like playing the demo for Metal Gear Solid.
So you never played through Metal Gear Solid, but when Splinter Cell came out, you played the demo, and then Splinter Cell was like your first full game of stealth.
Not even a full game, because I didn't even play it all the way through. I don't think I even got past like the second level of Splinter Cell. But that's, I think, partially part of that is attributed to the fact that when I picked up the first Splinter Cell, I had just beaten Halo for the first time.
Okay.
So I was right off of like running and gunning, beating the crap out of grunts, like having a blast. You get to Splinter Cell and it's like, oh, you don't have unlimited ammo anymore. You have 20 bullets. Use them wisely.
Right, yeah.
So I was like, let me go through. I'm shooting all of these bad guys. You get through your 20 bullets, and then you're like, oh, now what? because there's that first Splinter Cell. There's not really good like hand-to-hand combat in it, so it's if you're not sneaking through, you're kind of crap out of luck. So I didn't really get into that series.
There's no assassinations in the first Splinter Cell, are there? Like you can't.
Like the final level. The whole thing about it is there's a coup in Georgia, and you're sent in to investigate it, and then like the final level, you assassinate the new Georgian president.
Well, I mean, like if you run out of bullets, like can you walk up behind people and like or
You can't, but you have to like sneak up to them, which I was not doing because I was so used to just running and gunning.
What's up? And
the point, even though the tutorial shows you like, all right, you have to tilt the thumbstick 10 degrees in order to sneak as quietly as possible. I was like, boom, full gear, let's go, full throttle, straight towards the guy. And then they turn around, they shoot you in the face, and it's a fun time. But yeah, I came back to that series in, I want to say 2007, 2008 or something like that, the third entry in the series, which is Chaos Theories, like my favorite game of all time. I picked it up at Blockbuster. I was like, you know what, this game looks cool. It's got a lot of good reviews. Let me see if I can get into this series. And by then it became a lot more friendly. There was a lot more like hand-to-hand combat options. You can attack people from the front even if you get noticed. And then eventually, as I got better at it, because they give you like a scoring system at the end of like how sneaky were you, I eventually gave myself a challenge of like, all right, let's try and get 100% on all of these levels, which is notoriously difficult in that game. But I managed to pull it off. And
you did it.
Yeah. It took a while. There's one level in particular. In order to get 100% in Splinter Cell, what you have to do is you have to not be detected, so you can't like have somebody spot you. You can't set off any alarms by like making noise, or if somebody finds a body, they'll set off an alarm. And you can't kill anybody, so you have to either like just sneak past people and leave them alive, or you have to knock them out and put them somewhere where you're absolutely certain nobody's going to be like walking or patrolling to find a body. And there's one level in particular which is like notoriously difficult for that, because the entire level is just like an open firefight between these two factions. So you're like,
this is Chaos Theory.
Yeah, you have to like sneak around while people are like just shooting everywhere.
And there's people everywhere, and everybody's looking in all different directions. There's no like, set up.
Hello there.
You know,
and all your enemies are wearing thermal goggles too, so you can't like hide in the shadows anymore. You have to like actually use proper cover, take them out before they see you, that kind of thing.
Was that your greatest gaming achievement? Like in your gaming life, there are some things that were like, I'm really like, this is the best thing I've ever done. This is the coolest thing I've ever done. 100% in Chaos Theory. Is that like your crowning achievement?
No. I don't know what would be my crowning achievement. I used to be really good at Guitar Hero. I could do like Through the Fire and the Flames. That was pretty impressive.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
I was never as good as like those guys who were like just doing all the hammer-ons without using the strum
fret
or whatever.
Yeah.
No,
strum bar.
I could pull it off.
Strum bar, not fret. Did you ever do the endless set lists in like Rock Band?
No, but I did used to do like workout mode in DDR back in the day, where they just like you set an hour time frame or something like that, and then it's just nonstop shuffling songs for an hour.
That sounds like hell.
It's no, it's good. It's good.
Jesus Christ! I don't know DDR had a kill you mode.
I lost a lot of weight playing DDR in high school because I was a very competitive person, and I would go to like high school parties and they'd be playing DDR and be like, those cool high school parties where everybody's playing DDR all the time.
No, I'm with you. I had a friend that had the metal. Like the metal DDR, like not like the foam pad, like they went like all out and had the click one, like that was super
One of
cool.
These days, I would love to, like, if I'm living in my own apartment, or I guess my own house really, and I'm like doing Twitch full time, I would love to put up like a donation goal to have you guys crowdfund a DDR machine for me so we can do DDR streams.
Hey, that'd be awesome. That'd be super awesome.
But yeah, I would go to these parties. I'd suck at DDR, and then I'd decide, you know what? I'm gonna buy my own DDR, get really good at it, and then the next time I go to the party, I'm gonna stomp on these fools.
Did you go show them up, or did you?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I became like one of the best DDR players in my school actually, because they had DDR competitions in high school. I just remember there were a couple. I came like second place.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
What hobbies do you have outside of stream? Like aside from gaming and like aside from work. If you're not gaming, you're not working. What's something that you do or that you're good at that's not work related or stream related? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I've been trying to figure this out as I've been like putting my dating profile together for all these apps. I'm like, what do I do? What do I do for fun? Because like so much of my time is spent either like streaming or working on the stream. I'm very like singularly focused. So if I get like hooked on something like streaming, I'm like, everything I want to do is focused around streaming. So either it's like coming up with new themes for months to play games, or working on new overlays, new alerts, new jokes and gags to pull on the stream, or it's like editing videos for TikTok to like grow my stream even more. It's all really focused around stream. I'm not a very interesting person, I don't think.
I've known you for a few years, and I don't know you like super well, but we've had conversations a lot, and we've talked about things, and so the impression that I got, for the record, and I don't, I'm not trying to shit on you or anything. I didn't invite you here to take a shit on you.
How dare you?
That's the impression that I got. Was that you, and which like your stream is always improving, and like you're always working on stuff and then working and creating things and creating emotes for people and transitions, and then all of that work that you put in is super awesome, and it's something that I super admire about you. But I did have, like, when I was thinking of questions to write, I was wondering, like, are you ever off? Like, is your brain ever off?
No, not really.
Does it? I'm not telling you. I'm asking you. Does it need? Do you feel like it needs to be?
Just like to turn my brain off
to be able to stop.
Something?
Yeah.
Not really. No. Boy, like if I think about it, it's stuff like I don't know. I'll get into a Netflix show or something, or an anime or something, but I have a problem where then I start to get focused on that, and I want to tell everybody about it. And the last thing you want to do is like have somebody rant to you about an anime you've never seen for like 3 hours straight.
I mean, I don't know. I'm the kind of person that really likes it when other people are excited about shit. So if you were like, dude, let me tell you about this anime, I'd be like, tell me all about it. And then you're like, as you start, I'll probably have a million questions. Like, wait, hold on. Who's that character? What do they do? You know what I mean? So like, if you, this is sort of like just like my general thought is that if you want to like gush about something to someone and they're not down for it, just find someone else to gush to. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
I like.
So what
I think
you're saying is you're gonna be getting a lot of like DMs from me in the future. Just so you know, I'm just gonna be like,
DMs over.
You gotta go watch Dorohedoro, man. It's so good.
Is that the one that you've been watching lately?
No, I finished that one a while ago. I'd like a season 2. I don't know if they're gonna make one, but I need to watch the Attack on Titan. I feel like I want to go back through that series and watch the whole thing though before I watch the new season. I
think I watched the first episode of Attack on Titan, and it's not that it didn't hook me. I think I saw it almost in passing somehow, some way. Have you ever watched My Hero Academia?
Yeah, I like that show. I feel dirty for liking that show though, because it's very much like made for kids. Like I shouldn't enjoy this as much as I do. It's so stupid and campy, but like everything about it is just like it brings me back to the old days of like watching Dragon Ball Z. Like, what are they gonna do next?
I mean, I love MHA.
It's a show, exactly.
I've only seen like the first 2 seasons, or maybe not even the first 2 seasons. Like I kind of got sidetracked by Rebels and then sidetracked by Clone Wars and then sidetracked by WandaVision and stuff like that. But I've always sort of differentiated, like, there are shows that are for kids, and movies. There are shows and movies that are for kids, and then there are shows and movies that are for families. And when I say family, I don't mean like necessarily families, but I mean like everybody. So like, I feel like MHA is one of those. It's like it's everybody. You can a kid can watch and enjoy it, and a grown ass person can watch it and enjoy it. It's like, you know, Dora the Explorer is a kids show. Like that, you're not gonna get. That's not made for you. But I think MHA is made for everybody, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, hey Rain, good morning. Hey A-Bomb. Hey Tempest, good morning. How's it going?
Yeah, Techman, I think I agree with you. A lot of it is imposter syndrome, but then like, I don't have a good series of checks in my life to be like, yeah, you're on the right track, kind of thing. So I don't know.
What's the most successful you've felt in your streaming career? Either a moment or a show or something where you were like, that was fucking awesome. That went fucking well, or I aced that.
When I first started streaming, I hit 50 followers in like a month.
That's awesome.
That was like wildly more growth than I was expecting. I think like when that happened, I was like, okay, you know what? I think I can make this a thing. Because I was just going to try it out for like a year to see if I got any traction at all. And then after seeing how much I grew in like a month, after like, it took me like a year on YouTube to reach 100 followers. And then hitting 50 in like a month on Twitch, I was like, okay, I think I have something here.
Yeah, for sure. Tempest, thank you so much for the follow. We appreciate it. Also, y'all, don't forget, I know a lot of you here do, but also please go follow my guest, MasterCharlz, who's decided to walk off the set because my questions have upset him.
No, I don't have a crown, so I figured I'd add one of these instead.
Oh, yes. Yeah, you were missing a mustache. I was just thinking. You look like Al Swearingen from Deadwood. I love it. Yeah, I
Swearingen. Let me just go ahead and... Okay, I can see it.
This is maybe a little bit of a stretch. Now, maybe I should turn off the redemptions when I'm doing an interview. What you've been on Twitch for a few years now. What would you change about Twitch if you were going to change something? What needs to change?
The tag system.
The tag system.
Yeah, I was just chatting about this with another streamer yesterday. That like the current tag system in place doesn't really help anybody.
I literally ignore it.
Yeah, exactly. Most people do. And what would be helpful is instead of focusing tags around the game that you're streaming, focus the tags around the streamer. Because they have like, I don't know if you've noticed, but every time you stream a game, it comes up with an automatic set of tags like indie games or VR games or whatever. Excuse me. I think that mustache was dusty.
The dusty MasterCharlz and the Dusty Stash coming to theaters this summer.
Okay, yeah. So like if the game already has a series of tags associated with it, what's the point of having extra tags? Like if you look at the series of tags, there's a couple for artists. There's like emote design or traditional art for painting and stuff like that. And then they have stuff for speedrunners like 100%, any percent. But if you look at somebody like me, there's nothing there for me. Like I was using the LGBT tag for a while because I wanted to be inclusive. I want to like let people know it's a safe space. And then all of a sudden there was an uproar saying like, hey, we don't want allies using this tag. I was like, okay, I'm going to get rid of it.
Yeah. Take your cues from the community. That
like if you guys don't want me using it, I won't use it.
100%.
But like that doesn't help. I have like casual playthrough just because I guess I want people to know that I'm not a tryhard in anything that I play, but like that doesn't help. That doesn't help. Nobody's searching for, I want to watch a casual playthrough. You know, like, they should have.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to the Dark Souls channel, but only casuals. I don't want anybody to be taking this like super serious.
Yeah, and I have been watching Dr. Disrespect from time to time. I don't like religiously watch him, but every once in a while I'll pop in and be like, "Oh, what's this guy doing these days?" You know. And seeing the way that YouTube handles stuff is fascinating. Comparing it to Twitch, and like, I don't know why YouTube streaming isn't bigger than Twitch streaming is, because they let you do custom thumbnails, so you can upload whatever you want for your thumbnail for your stream, rather than having just a screen grab of the gameplay. Which, if you search through Twitch's browsing page, it's just a million thumbnails of the same cutscene. Like this happened when I was playing Ghost of Tsushima. I was like looking through. I'm like, everybody's doing the tutorial right now. They're all the exact same.
Every single yeah, that's true.
As far as I know, Twitch allows thumbnails for VODs. I don't think they do it for live content.
Not for you can't pre-upload a thumbnail for what you want to show up in the directory while you're live. So if I go live, it's gonna, and you know, if I'm playing Jedi Knight 2 and someone pulls up the Jedi Knight 2 directory, it'll be a random screen grab from like sometime in the last 5 minutes or something like that.
Yeah. Whereas like if you look at Dr. Disrespect's stream on YouTube, he has like, when he's going live, there's a thumbnail of like him in a freaking red Ferrari with an explosion in the background. I'm like, yeah, I'd click on that. That looks like fun. Let's see what that's all about. But then like you go into that, and I have a Firefox plugin that like displays tags for YouTube stuff, just because I'm curious what other people are tagging their videos in. Because no matter what tags I seem to put on my videos, they don't work. But like if you look at that, YouTube streaming has their own tags. I was watching some investing stream on YouTube the other day, and they had a bunch of tags based on like top investing tips and like get help investing kind of things like that. And I'm like, that'd be great if Twitch had something like that. You know?
But even something simple, like, I agree with you. I think even something simple, like there are times where there's a multi-platform game, and there's are you playing on PC? Are you playing on? And it'd be cool to be able to even just put a console tag, like,
yeah,
I'm playing Destiny 2, I'm console tagging, Xbox One or whatever. Just so people
anytime
know.
You're playing a cross-play game like that, somebody will come in and ask you what you're playing it on.
Right, and even that tag would be some kind of helpful. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I 100% agree with you.
I liked back in the day when they had communities, because it was kind of like that.
That was
you
helpful.
Could start whatever community you wanted back in the day, and I don't know how helpful it was because I was just starting out back then. So like I was from at the bottom of the list. But
from what I saw, the when they disabled communities, that was one of the biggest blows to like G&G, for example, was like. We can use a hashtag in the title, but that's imperfect because when you go to search, like let's see who's streaming in the community right now, and you type in hashtag whatever, it'll show you some of who's live now with a mix of some VODs of people, which isn't necessarily bad, but it was not easily searchable. But back when the communities were a thing and you could just make a community and call it whatever you want, all the time, I was like, who's in the community, who's streaming now? Because there may be someone new in the community that I haven't followed yet, and I, want to put in that time and effort. And I thought that was a terrible decision. There have been some good decisions. There's been some bad decisions. I thought that was a bad decision.
Rain, I got a question for you, because you say that Twitch has bad search functionality, and I've heard this argument a lot, and I'm curious, what are people putting into the search bar when they're searching for something? Because if I search for something in Twitch, it's either going to be a username or it's going to be a game title, and searching for those two things always comes up with what I'm looking for. So I don't understand.
So if you're searching for Tetris streams, you will be able to find them.
Yeah. So I don't like. I've heard a ton of people say like Twitch's search function's terrible. I'm like, what do you search for on Twitch?
Twitch's search function, I have never come across like a specific issue with. Mixer's was terrible. Mixer's search function, first of all, you couldn't find it. And there were a lot of things that I loved about Mixer. Obviously, we were on there for 9 months, but like you had to click on game directory. Then you had to click on the little magnifying glass. That would bring up a search bar. And then if you typed in a title, so you can title a stream, 100% run today or something like that. If you typed in, it would not search titles. It would only search either channels or games. Whereas Twitch, you can even search for like like I said, it's not perfect, but if you did hashtag let's say you're raising money for the Trevor Project and you put hashtag Trevor Project in your title. If you did a search on Twitch for hashtag Trevor Project, it should bring up any across different directories and across different channels, that hashtag, generally speaking.
Well, I think sorry, I agree with everything you said. But back to Rain. I think the reason you search on YouTube is because they have a much larger repository of stuff that you're looking for. So if you're looking for like a how-to or something, you're definitely gonna be more likely to find that on YouTube, because there's not a good chance that somebody's gonna be doing a how-to on Twitch. I don't think.
Right, and because when you're looking up a how-to, chances are you're one of two things. You're either prepping to see what you're about to do, or you've started something and realize you need to look it up. So finding a live video of someone doing that's not going to be terribly helpful. You want to find a video that you can go, okay, I've done this part, or I need the first part of it, or something like that.
Can I change my answer, actually?
Yeah.
Because I just thought of another one. Is the clip viewer, the clip browser?
Yeah.
It's atrocious.
Not making clips, browsing clips.
Making clips is kind of janky in itself, but I've gotten used to it. But like browsing clips, I can't see any clips past the past month. Like if I try to load further than the past month, it just won't come up. And if I'm like looking for, hey, I remember I had a really funny clip of me playing Hitman. Let me search. You go to the clip browser page and you're like, I want to see clips of my channel, and I want to see clips of my channel playing Hitman. It doesn't work. It's just straight up like you type it in, you hit enter, and then nothing happens.
I feel like so Rain talks about customizing the front page, and in one way I do agree with you. It'd be cool to be able to make your front page kind of whatever you want it to be, but at the same time I do like the uniformity, because now Twitch has like the links section. So if I go to someone's Twitch page, I know exactly where to look to find their Instagram, TikTok, Discord, stuff like that, because that's always in the same place, and my brain appreciates that. Raven did a how-to stream once, testing out the mobile stream. Oh, streamed a motorcycle oil change. See, but after that's over, someone might tune in and go, oh, this is cool, someone's doing a cool thing. But if I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh, I need to go change the oil in my motorcycle I don't have, then I'm probably not going to go to Twitch and look for who is streaming how to do that right now. I'll go to YouTube, and there will be a pre-produced video. That kind of thing.
Probably at higher quality too, because they put effort into it, rather than somebody just setting up a webcam and being like, all right, I'm streaming an oil change today.
Yeah, chat with me while I do shit you ignore. What content creator, and you sort of answered this earlier, but is there a content creator or streamer that it inspires you, or that you look up to in some way?
All the time, yeah. I have tons. If you want to get more specific, I might be able to pull a specific example. But
if is there a streamer that you look to for like ideas for your own stream? Is that help?
No, not for any specific streamer. I think as I watch streams, I'll steal ideas constantly. I don't know if I think I was talking to you about this the other day, but my previous iteration of my stream back when I was using the green screen had alpha masks on my webcam and stuff. I actually stole that idea from Locke back when she was on Mixer, because I would like look at her stream and I was like, oh, that's cool. And she had this like paintbrush alpha mask, and I like stole that idea for my intro as the transitions. I was like, I'm gonna throw that in here because that looks really cool. I like the way that is.
Yeah, and literally, I put an alpha mask on this last week from the exact same streamer, yeah. from Locke as well. So, but you don't have so you sort of pull ideas from just whatever you're watching. There's no one specific, like, not that broader than this, but like there's no streamer that you like maybe model yourself after or routinely go to for creative inspiration.
Not routinely. No. I think this is a thing that I picked up as being a designer is when you get inspiration, it's not necessarily from one place because that would be plagiarism, right? So what you gotta do is like you get inspired by all these different things, like, oh, I love this color scheme, or I like this shape. Let me put those two together and then make something new that fits both of these inspirations. So
that makes sense.
I picked up a couple things from you actually.
No shit.
Yeah. I feel like you're very good at baiting your chat into chatting with you. So
okay.
Back
I'll take that as a compliment.
Struggling to like get my chat active for 100% of the time, I was like, man, I gotta look at some streamers and figure out what they're doing. And I saw that like one thing that you do a lot is you're constantly asking questions about stuff. So like something will happen in the game, you'd be like, hey, chat, do you guys ever have a time where such and such happened, or you've done such and such? And I'm like, oh my god, I instinctively started typing without even like, I couldn't stop myself from typing an answer. This is how he does it. So that I kind of started incorporating that, and now I ask questions a lot, and half the time I forget what I asked by the time an answer rolls in. But
oh yeah, 100%.
I think it's good start.
Hot takes are a conversation starter. Yeah, even saying something that you may not even necessarily be like a complete thought all the way thought through, because it gets it stirs the conversation, and not in a bad way. It's just like, you know, just sort of mixing things up again. But thank you for saying me in some form or fashion. Like Rain said, that means we can move on now. If money weren't an issue, what would you do for a living? What would be your dream?
I wouldn't do anything for a living. If I just had money, I would just, you'd never see me again.
Not a mucho. but that's what I'm saying. Like, because you work so much, you work so hard. Would you stream? Like,
I probably would. I don't know if I would keep like a regular schedule. I would probably just like, hey, if I want to go live, I'll go live, but I'm not going to be like, okay, I got to hold myself to this Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7 flat schedule. Got to be there all the time kind of thing.
Right. Would you own a Taco Bell franchise?
Oh, no.
You wouldn't want to run it.
Dreams one day. I had dreams of owning a restaurant. I had a couple of ideas for like a chain of restaurants that I wanted to own.
What did you want to be when you were a kid? Like, what did you want to be when you grew up?
It's changed over time. When I was real young, I wanted to be an animator. I wanted to like work for like Pixar or Ubisoft doing 3D animation. And then I started trying to learn 3D animation. I realized I'm just trash at it. I can't do it. I was like, this isn't gonna be a thing. Eventually, when I started doing like graphic design, I picked up Photoshop really easily. I was like, okay, this is something I can make a living doing, because not a lot of people know how to do Photoshop, and it's comes naturally to me.
Yeah, I will tell you, your Photoshops are top fucking notch. Like, I do a stupid thing where I put my face on the characters for the promos and stuff like that, and then I see yours, and I'm like, son of a bitch, that's so good. Oh, it's so good.
Not to flex too hard, but like the majority of those are just like 5-minute things that I put together right before I go live.
Flex away.
Like, I need to get this done.
No, that's impressive, because those look like masterpieces. One of my funniest, or not one of my funniest, one of the things that I thought was so cool is you had or have a redemption called Photoshop Me on your stream and for your stream channel points. And you photoshopped me in the dogs playing poker painting, and then made it look like I was part of the painting. And you did it in moments. Like, it was like while I had a quick break at work, and you did the whole thing from beginning to end, and just absolutely top notch.
The trick to doing that is like to learn your keyboard shortcuts. Just get those down pat, and then just know ahead of time exactly what filters you need to add in order to get to a certain point. Whereas like it wasn't always like that. When I first started out in Photoshop, like I didn't know what blend modes were. I didn't know how curves worked. I didn't know how histograms worked. But like once you learn those things, you're like, okay, if I need this face to match this color, I know exactly how much I need to drop the saturation by. I know I need to tint it blue a little bit. I need to
that's awesome.
feather the edges. Like you kind of pick that up the more that you do it.
So like there's a filter that I will sometimes use on things, and it sort of makes it look like a VHS, sort of like that sort of scratch tape kind of look, and I never remember what the fuck the filter is. And then I'll find it, and then I'll write it down, and then I'll forget where I wrote it down. And like to this day I couldn't tell you. And I've put it on a few things where it's like sort of like that little bit of fuzz, that little bit of movement, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I have no idea what the fuck it is. So, learning Photoshop.
Let me give you a hot tip for that is you can go to jiffy.com or Giphy if you're a pleb. And
see, that'll stir up some chat.
They have one of those filters, so you just upload a photo and then like click add that filter and then download it, and it just spits out a GIF with a twisted VHS flavor to it.
Oh, that's awesome. I used to like MC. There you go. You just
hold on. Call back to Mitch Hedberg. I still do, but I used to too.
Still do, but I used to too. So I would like to fashion, with the help of chat, an MC cocktail
can I tell
or
you
beer.
guys
Oh yeah,
why I say GIF instead of GIF?
please.
Is because I hate the feeling of someone saying a word that sounds too much like another word. So if somebody says gift to me, I'm gonna be like, did you say gift? Like somebody sent me a gift? No, they sent you a GIF. That's like a way clearer.
Yeah.
Okay. Now
You're
I
not
understand.
mistaking that for peanut butter. You know it's GIF, but GIF and gift are too close.
Nobody calls GIF. Nobody's like, hey, I'm gonna make a GIF and jelly sandwich. No, it's peanut butter and jelly. Like nobody calls it by the brand. It's not a.
We don't brand name it. Yeah, we don't.
Kleenex, okay?
Yeah, or a Band-Aid. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, yeah. So an MC with your input and also the chat's input, I think we should fashion like an MC cocktail or an MC beer. Would you, if you were going to have like a specified drink that was you and your stream, would it be a cocktail or would it be like a beer?
Wait, it has to describe my stream, or it has to be
more your personality.
My personality. If my personality were distilled into
a drink, yeah.
It would be a habanero whiskey.
Okay, habanero whiskey. So, just the peppers and whiskey, is that it?
Mixed with, thank you, whoever just said it, Whitey, mixed with my unnamed gamer drink energy powder.
Okay.
I would be so sad if
habanero and some unnamed gamer powder.
I don't know how I'm gonna feel if I ever get sponsored one day and I have to stop using that joke. It just makes me so happy.
It's good. I like it. That's a good.
We'll call it Spicy Boy.
So like, I think that's. I don't know. I'm not a big spice person, as you can tell. I'm basically a mayonnaise personified. But if you
have a habanero beer, it's so good. It's really
both
good.
of those things sound terrible to me. Those two words together sound awful.
Like I've had a couple. It's never like, well, I don't know if I can tell people how they'd react to spice because I'm so like numb to it now. But like, it gives you a nice little tingle that makes you thirsty. It makes you want to drink more beer, and then the beer has spice in it, so it makes it want more beer.
Okay, so you is that something like associated then with like your serotonin or something, where if you were to just like pop a jalapeno whole, you'd be like, I'm happy?
I don't know what it is about that. I guess there is a little bit of that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I break out into a sweat, throw up, and die.
If I'm eating Thai food and my nose isn't running constantly, I feel like it's not spicy enough.
Okay.
I need that.
In some ways, you and I are two very different people. Name a game that has either made you cry or like hit you in the feels, like something that moved your emotions.
The ending of Ghost of Tsushima was really sad.
Oh, fuck, it was, wasn't it? With a lot of games that I play on stream, I sort of only half pay attention to the story. So if there's a game I really want to invest in, I don't think I can stream it. But Ghost of Tsushima was the outlier where I was able to follow the story the whole time, like even still half paying attention, interacting with chat, and then at the end, shit, this hit kind of hard.
Mm-hmm.
What?
I don't think I actually cried, but I came close. I was like, it was so sad because like they give you the two choices at the end, and then you're like, they're both bad choices. I don't want either of these. But like, it's not like they broadsided you with it. They didn't blindside you with it. Like, no, you saw it coming. You knew where it was going to happen.
That's a really good point. Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima, that was really good. Was that your game of the year last year?
Last year, let me look up a list of games that came out last year.
Like, I know that's a tough question. Usually when I ask people that,
probably not. I really enjoyed the story of Ghost of Tsushima. Gameplay wise, I didn't really dig it that much.
Do you have a PO box where people can send you hot sauces to try on stream?
Spelunky 2 was my game of the year last year.
Spelunky 2. That is a. Do you do roguelikes and roguelites, generally speaking?
Yeah, I like them. I got really into Dead Cells, and I think that was like what I didn't think that I liked roguelikes until I played Dead Cells, and I was like, oh yeah, this is actually fantastic. Like this is a lot of fun. Even though it's kicking my ass, it's really fun. I don't like Hades though.
That's an unusual opinion, I think.
I haven't tried Hades, but I really liked. But I shouldn't say I liked them, but I played Bastion and Transistor, and as much as I enjoyed like the ambiance and the like the style that those games had, gameplay wise, I couldn't get into it. Something about the weird isometric top down doesn't gel well with my brain when it comes to like shooting things, and that's all that Hades is just nonstop that.
I did play Bastion and I did enjoy it, but I kind of agree with you. Like I totally get why people love Hades and they absolutely should, but that same like it clicky combat, it's the same reason that I don't really like the Diablo franchise. Is just like that it's the viewpoint and the clicky that I just it's
also, the vibe that I get from it is like people that really like Hades also really liked Twilight.
The books?
Yeah, like that seems like the same demographic to me.
That's fine. You can like whatever you want. I will say I watched
Torby, you might be offended, but is it true? Okay,
it's untrue.
I'm just saying it feels like it's just steeped in that like everybody's too sexy kind of thing, and like there's no...
So if the more attractive people are in a thing, the less you like it. You hate the Mummy series.
Give me something like The Witcher, where it's like, okay, you know, we've got some people are really attractive, like Yennefer and Triss, or whatever, but then you've got like the dirty, nasty boys, like the dwarf with the mohawk, and like all the civilians. Like, there's gotta be balance to it, you know.
How do you feel about Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz's The Mummy?
I liked
only attractive people
I
in that
remember liked it when I was a kid. I haven't seen it since I was like 9, probably.
Okay. MasterCharlz does not like attractive people. Noted.
Yeah, because I want to be one of them.
My first interaction. That's not the right word. My first exposure to Twilight was actually Nerdez. Nerdez loves the series, and so I got her the series last year, or year before, as a gift, and so we watched all the movies. And I remember after them, I was like, well, that was fine. Like, they're not Oscar-winning performances, but, like, the only reason that I think people hate them is because they're, like, dudes. Like, it's just, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I did not understand. Like I said, it's not an Oscar winner, but it's just dumb fun. And I like things that are dumb fun. Star Wars is dumb fun. it's just a different kind of Star Wars, basically.
I remember there was a lot of hate in high school for Robert Pattinson just for like being part of that series, and he's actually like a really cool dude, and he's been in some like really fun movies since then.
I like him. I think and I'm super stoked about his Batman.
Oh, I'm real excited.
His upcoming Batman.
I don't know why I keep getting excited for Batman stuff, because they're like, the only good one has been Dark Knight. That's the only good Batman movie. Everything else is just kind of like at best, and then like I don't know. Every time a new Batman movie comes out, I'm so excited for it.
Not gonna get on my BVS soapbox.
Yeah, hey, I really enjoyed Batman vs Superman the second time I watched it.
There you go. Did you watch the extended version?
Yes.
Okay.
The second time I watched the extended version, I liked
the extended version is much better.
I think Ben Affleck was the best iteration of Bruce Wayne and Batman that we've seen yet, even though that was not the best Batman movie.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Oh man, that fucking warehouse scene where he's like hitting people with grappling hooks. I'm like,
that action scene was super cool.
So good.
It was awesome. Jumping back to the Twilight thing, Kevin Smith had a line that I thought that resonated with me years and years and years ago. He was talking about being at a convention, and he was like, he said, I don't understand the hate for Twilight, because you see a dude cosplaying as Chewbacca yelling at a 13-year-old girl that she's a fucking nerd. Like, it's, you know what I mean? And I was like, that contrast was like, huh. And then like years later, I watched them, and I was like, they were fun. They were fine. Okay, next question. And we have 10 minutes or so left. So in a couple minutes, we're gonna get to the lightning round. But my first question before we get to the lightning round is, what's a video that lives in your head rent free?
So, that was a great time for that. That alert. A video that lives in my head rent free.
Yeah, I asked that just because we're TikTok pals.
There is a YouTube channel called Nico Misha, which is like a very small YouTube channel. He puts out these like animations that they look like they're made on MS Paint. They're like so crappy. But he has two videos specifically that live in my head rent free. And one of them is called Shower Man, which is just all it is there's a guy in a shower, and he's singing in the shower. He's like, I'm in the shower washing my butt cheeks, scrubbing my ass crack, rubbing my hair. And then like each frame of the animation, like it zooms out a little bit more, and you just see like, okay, first it's a shot of him in the shower and he's singing, and then it zooms out. It's the outside of his house, and there's like a mailman delivering his mail, and just like, the fuck is this guy singing? And then it like zooms out a little bit further. This guy like driving in the car, like, who's singing right now? And then it zooms out a little bit further. There's like somebody shopping at a grocery store. Like, it just gets further and further back. Like, he's just like singing. So it's so weird and hilarious to me.
That's so funny.
He has another video where there's like a farmer in Kansas who's got a dog, and the dog's just like yapping like the dog is. He's like, dog, come on inside, there's a goddamn tornado coming. And then there's like a tornado. The dog like gets sucked up into the tornado. It's like, yep. He's like, dog, get out of that damn tornado. Get out of there. What are you doing? That's a tornado. It's so fucking stupid, but I love his videos, and he uploads like once every 2 years, and every time it comes out, I'm like, yes, me shout.
Oh, that's so good. The first video you described reminds me of this. This literally happened my freshman year in college. I went to TCU, and I was in the honors dormitory. And we had the way that those dorms were set up, where we had suites. So I had it was me and a dude in one room, and then there were two dudes in an adjoining room, and we shared a bathroom. So there wasn't like a floor communal bathroom, but two rooms would share, like 4 people to have one bathroom. And my suite mate, I remember, came across, like, you could sort of come through the bathroom and like knock on the other person's door. And he's like, hey, I was gonna take a shower. Do you guys is that okay? Like, you guys don't need the bathroom for a little bit? I'm like, go ahead. And he goes, I like to sing when I'm in the shower. Is that going to bother you? And I was like, not at all, man. Like, absolutely go nuts. And so he turns on the water, and then we hear, and I'm masturbating in the shower at like full volume. And I will never forget that moment as long as I live, because he was just wholesome, like, hey, do you guys mind if I like sing in the shower? We're like, go for it, Rob. And it was the funniest thing in my... Okay.
Wow.
What's a trope in gaming, movies, shows, whatever, that you cannot stand?
News. I don't like when there's a news show playing in the background that just happens to be telling exposition, and then they look over, they turn up the volume, they're like, oh, what did they just say? Oh no, there's a monster attacking downtown or whatever. Like
they had the TV on. It was the TV was on to the news, and nobody was paying attention to it until they.
I hate it. I hate it so much, and it happens all the time too. It's like nobody watches the news. Secondly, nobody just happens to like look at the TV the exact moment something important is happening.
Right. Yeah. that literally never happens in real life, where we're like, you know, hold on, the news.
Something that I really love in movies is when people mess up. And it's like, you can't tell if it was written in a script that they were supposed to mess up, or if it like, just people acting imperfectly. And I like, one of the clearest examples that I can remember about this is one of the first season of Breaking Bad. They're like dragging a body up the stairs to put him in a bathtub to like dissolve the body in lye.
I remember, yeah.
And as he's dragging the body up, it slips out of his hands and it slides all the way back down the stairs. Just like, something about that just made me laugh so hard, because it's like, that is what would happen if you tried to drag a body upstairs. You would lose it and it would slide back down. I'm so glad the director either A, that was a genuine mess up and they decided to keep it in, or B, they intended for that to happen.
Generally
it's such
speaking,
a slice of life kind of thing.
Just because like I am an absolute fiend for like Breaking Bad and like Breaking Bad articles. Like, I'll get a notification on my phone that's like, you know, we reveal the top 10 Kleenexes that Bryan Cranston used on Breaking Bad. And I'm like, give me that shit. And I hit it. So like, the most of that show was so specifically written and directed that even the thing like the pizza on the roof, like that was not an accident. These things were like written in. So I can almost guarantee you that was very specifically done.
I feel so bad. I vaguely remember reading stories that the people that live in that house like hate that scene happened, because people come and like, it's like a tourist trap now. Like, this is the house Bryan Cranston threw pizza on.
Well, what I would do is I would just put a little platform with like a target, and then I would have a pole so that when they got the pizza up there, I just pull it and free food.
Free pizza, baby.
Yeah. Free pizza, baby.
Yeah, you could like set up, I don't know what the legality behind this would be, but like a merch store where you sell like pictures of pizza on a t-shirt.
Right, yeah.
$25 a pop.
Take a picture with my house and then the pizza up there. Bring your own pizza. Yeah. Shit, yeah, I do that. Some people in chat have actually said that that literal trope has happened to them, the news, that breaking news thing. Like,
okay, but hold on. Are you the main character of your story? Was that exposition important to you?
So like Raven had on the news in the background when like the insurrection at the Capitol happened and like stopped his day. I guess he didn't have to go do anything about it.
Third party calling and saying turn on the news is more acceptable to me. But that's negated by the fact that if they turn on the news and it just happens to be not mid-sentence, like if they turn on the news and they start the sentence of exposition, and just as soon as they turn on the news, boom, hate it. But if they're like in the middle of talking about something, you miss half of it, that's what would happen.
Josh Dillon, thank you for the raid. I hope the stream went well, buddy. I think Mark, I think MC, you consider yourself the main character for your own story, I imagine. No?
This is a boring story. Who the hell would watch this story?
So what I was going to say was I think what MC is referring to is like if something occurs on the news, it's something that you have to then go interact with. In the sense that like even if something important happens, in the movies, something happens in the news and it's not just like, oh shit, good to know. It's always like directly related to the action of the plot or what the characters have to do.
Like Raven, if there was a serial killer stalker who just happened to be stalking and serial killing you, that broke out of jail, like sure, that would make sense because that's pertinent to you. But if it's like, there's a 12-car pileup on your way home from work, like, not so much.
So, final question before the lightning round. What's the worst game you've ever played on stream? Is there a game that either you just hated or super regretted, like, I wish I hadn't done that?
Worst how? Like not fun or just bad?
Yeah, not. Well, you can answer it either way you want, but I was thinking like not fun. Like this was.
Part of me wants to say Hollow Knight.
Dota's chimed in with.
Like I get that it's a good game, and people like it, and they put a lot of craft into it, but there were so many issues with that game that I couldn't get past. And a lot of it was me being frustrated by the fact that nobody else agreed with me that it was a bad game.
You felt so alone.
I felt like I was being gaslit because like everybody's like, this is my favorite game of all time. How could you not like it? I'm like, because they have foreground elements that obscure your character and they're hiding enemies in those foreground elements that you can't know are there unless you played the game 3 times and you memorize that path. There's one specific area of the map where there's like pools of acid below the screen and you're supposed to take like blind jumps onto platforms and not fall into the acid until you get the upgrade that lets you swim through acid or whatever. And it's like, okay, they kind of had this was me playing a lot of Dead Cells at that time, and Dead Cells I feel like is an objectively better version of Hollow Knight, just like it doesn't have the story that Hollow Knight has or whatever. But like Dead Cells has things like that where there are pools of acid that you need to like platform across, whatever. But you can pan the camera down while you're jumping to like keep an eye on where it is, rather than like you have to just jump and hope you don't land in the acid, or you have to remember where the platform is.
See, I feel like with like a hidden enemy, I can be a little bit forgiving with that because I mean, Dark Souls will do that, and there are a lot of older games will be like, once you have to learn the game basically. But
like Hitman does that, but Hitman is like much more forgiving your first playthrough.
But platforming, I feel like you can't do that. You can't have the blind jumps in a platform. If the camera either doesn't show you where you're supposed to be going when you're jumping, that's broken, in my opinion.
They also have this enemy type. One of the other things that like incredibly frustrated me about this game, and I'm sure there's like 30 clips of me rage quitting at fighting this enemy. It's like it's a basic bitch enemy, but the flying enemies have this AI that what they do is they fly just outside your reach. And if you try to move towards them, they stay the exact same distance outside your reach until they just randomly decide not to. So like you'll be jumping and swinging at them, and then like you just keep missing, but you don't have it. There's no window where they are not staying outside of your reach. You just have to keep attacking until they decide they want to get hit.
Okay. So there's nothing you can do to bait them in or anything like that, but you have to be always attacking because if you're not, so you're just going at them and just mashing until they...
And, like, their attack range is much larger than yours, so, like, it's not like they come in for an attack. I don't know. It's just...
That sounds frustrating.
And then they put a bunch of those enemies over a pit of spikes that you have to platform across. So not only are you fighting that, but you hit somebody, and because your character's so fucking weak, every time you hit somebody, it knocks you backwards. So you'd jump, you'd hit the guy, it would knock you backwards off the platform you jumped from, and then into the pit of spikes.
Oh, sadistic bastards.
Fun! This is a good game that everybody likes playing. I don't get it.
Okay, we're at the top of the hour, so I want to throw a few quick questions. So answer as fast as you can. Think as little as you can about the answers to these.
I'm not good at this, but okay.
Okay. What's your favorite breakfast food?
French toast.
Oh, that's a good one. What is your favorite movie of all time?
Favorite movie of all time is currently John Wick.
Also, I like that too. Are you an introvert or extrovert, in your
Introvert.
opinion? Interesting. What is your favorite musician or band or music artist?
My favorite band of all time is probably Dispatch.
What is your most embarrassing that you feel comfortable sharing stream moment?
There's been a lot of close calls where I left my stream on after I ended.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, I don't know. I'm the kind of guy that doesn't like to wear pants a lot. So,
Some close calls. Some wardrobe malfunctions.
there's probably been a couple of times I was like picking my nose pantsless while the stream was still running because I had sent out a raid, but I forgot to end the stream or whatever.
Well, if that isn't a good reason to go follow MasterCharlz, I don't know what is. And what is the next upgrade that you think you need to make to your own stream?
I would like to get a new camera setup, but it's going to be way too expensive, and I'd rather have a graphics card.
Yeah. Oh, the graphics cards. Does anybody have any questions for MasterCharlz before I let him off the hook and let him go about his day and get back to his 24-hour work day? Well, I'll give them a second to...
Actually, I took the day off of work today, so I'm probably going to be playing Tarkov all day.
Fantastic. What camera are you using right now?
Right now, I have a Canon T3i.
Do you have any pets?
I do not. I got a pet puppy. I got a pet dachshund. I got him for my 18th birthday right before I left for college, and then it became my parents' dog.
Oh, yeah, that happens. How are you doing, Sis Rain?
I'm good. I'm a little bit thirsty. I'm at the end of my monster rehab.
Raven asks, "Oh, Monster's good."
Dude, this stuff, by the way, if you guys don't like normal Monster, get a Monster Rehab. Oh, it's so good. It's just like a caffeinated Arnold Palmer.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Raven says, "Will you marry me?"
No.
Him. Will you marry him? Okay.
No, I have commitment issues.
Okay. Zion says, "What's your favorite 8-bit video game?"
Battletoads.
Okay. Oh, I see. Torby's
hold on, that's 16-bit.
No, Battletoads is 8-bit.
Is it?
Yeah, the original Battletoads is an 8-bit game, yeah.
Okay. Battletoads.
Yeah. and then people are trying to guess your passwords. What's a gift that you've given to someone that you wish you got for yourself? That's a great question.
Good question. I've probably gotten some cool stuff for my DM, like various D&D books or dice or whatever.
And are you using a specific lens with your Canon?
Yes, I got a 24 millimeter 2.8.
Awesome.
It's just a Canon brand. It was like $120 on B&H Photo. It's not as sharp as I would like it to be, but
okay.
I have a fisheye lens that I really want to use, but it just does not focus at all. it looks so cool, except for the fact that everything's out of focus, and no matter what I do, it'll stay out of focus.
So, why upgrade the camera? Seems like the focus is good.
Because this camera is so old that if I want to use it as a webcam like I'm doing now, it only shoots in 4:3, and I'd like to get like a widescreen with higher definition.
That makes sense. Then last thing that we go, before I let you go, do you have any advice for a streamer who is just starting? What's like the first thing that they should do?
Like I said, you need to spend a lot of time watching streams, especially your own stream, to like figure out what you're doing. Somebody had advice back when I was doing YouTube. I took this advice to heart, and I don't remember who said it, unfortunately. So I'm gonna make it my own quote. But in order for you to have a successful stream, you need to make the kind of content that you want to watch. So if you try to watch your own stream and you're like bored or you're turning away and you're like flipping through other tabs, then you need to figure out what's causing you to be bored and then fix it.
That's fantastic advice. MasterCharlz, thank you so much for hanging out with me today, man.
Thank you for inviting me. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. Guys, go and follow MasterCharlz. It's twitch.tv/MasterCharlz. I'll put the shout out here in chat. And I probably should have made an end graphic that incorporated MasterCharlz in some way. I have a little bit of regret, but, you know, we're learning. And when I go back and watch this, I'm going to get to this point and go, I should have done a go follow MasterCharlz outro. But, Charlie, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure.
I'll let you go, and then I'll say bye to everybody else. But you have a great day.
All right, you too, man.
And you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Please go follow MasterCharlz. Go do that. Yeah, Nightbot stepped up today. He came back. The advice to give similar advice for podcasting. Yeah, 100%. Go back and watch your shit. That was really good advice. I really like that. Thank you again to MasterCharlz for taking time out of his day, for waking up early in the morning and spending time with me. This was a ton of fun. And sorry, Nightbot. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for being here. It means a lot to me. I know I've said it like 8 times now, but please go follow MasterCharlz. It is a fun stream. It's humor and it's hype and it's energy. And he also does movie watch parties in his Discord, and there's a lot of really cool stuff there. And also, it's a super high quality stream. I will look at MasterCharlz stream and take notes. So that is something that I think you should do. This is now time for me to sleep. I'm about to go crash. I'm not going to raid. Usually by the time we get to 10 a.m. after the morning talk show, I'm pretty much crashy. So yes, plagiarize. Go plagiarize MasterCharlz. But next stream for me is going to be tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central Time. We're playing Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight. This is my first PC game playthrough. The 1997 Star Wars classic. Don't forget to follow us on social media. Also follow me on TikTok. And if your love language is getting really weird TikToks, let me know. And I'll send you really weird TikToks. Dr. Gene Bean, thank you so much for the follow. We appreciate that. And you guys have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day.